We're joined now by Latin America analyst Javier Farje. Welcome to the news hour, Javier. So President Donald Trump saying that he's inclined to keep ExxonMobil out of Venezuela after the CEO, as we just heard there, saying that he's skeptical about the oil investment efforts in Venezuela, saying it's uninvestable. What is the actual state of the oil resources and infrastructure there? Is the CEO saying the truth?
Yes, he is. There's been a process of disinvestment in the installations and of the Venezuelan oil industry to such an extent that some places are inoperable. And Donald Trump has said they want them to invest $100 billion in the oil industry in Venezuela. But the companies want a cast iron promise that they will get the money back from the state of Venezuela or anybody else. So that's very important for them because they want their money back. They don't want to waste money as they believe has happened before. But the other issue is they were talking about framework. They want a legal framework which will prevent Venezuela from seizing the assets of these companies. Since the oil in Venezuela was nationalized in 1975 by President Carlos Andrés Pérez, he seized the assets of the 4 companies that control 70% of the oil exploration, which were Exxon, Texaco, Chevron, and Arco. And they believe that the compensation they received did not match the investment they have made in the Venezuelan oil industry. They want a framework. Even ConocoPhillips said they wanted 12 billion pounds they lost until 2007 when they left Venezuela.
Okay.
Trump said, no, you're not going to get that money back. It's in the past. Let's move on and we do something about that. And that's what worries the investors and oil companies in relation to what's going on in Venezuela.
Absolutely. So clearly, Javier, the oil companies, as you're saying, that they need a legal framework. They want those guarantees. But is there a plan for Venezuela's oil? Does Donald Trump and the U.S. administration have a plan for it? Because we heard Marco Rubio saying last week that the U.S. does have a plan in general for Venezuela, saying that they were not winging it.
We haven't heard anything about a plan. I don't think they have one. They say they have one, but I don't think they have one because we don't really know how they are going to work with the government. They are willing to work with the government, as you reported in the beginning of this program, of this piece, but how they're going to do that? PDVSA, for example, the state-owned company that controls the oil in Venezuela, are they going to have a position or a role to play during this process or not? Are they going to, are the companies in Venezuela, are the American companies going to be able to work freely to control most of the production of the oil, like Chevron does at the moment? They control 25% of the production of oil. We don't really know exactly what the mechanisms are. That's why Darren Woods showed his skepticism when he talked about this uninvestable. In fact, all the companies were skeptical. He was the only one who was very blunt about that, and that's why Trump wasn't happy with that. You see, you can't just tell the companies to go on the strike working and work straight away in Venezuela because there's a lot of work to do. Exxon says that they are going to they are prepared to send an exploratory team to Venezuela to see what the possibilities are. So there's no actual plan, there's no concrete plan. We haven't heard about that. The companies haven't heard about that. That conversation that they had in the White House did not come up with anything concrete, and they want a cast iron guarantee that when any money that they're actually going to put in this project is going to be going back to the bank accounts.
Javier, thank you so much. Javier Farje, Latin America analyst, joining us from London. Thank you.